start recording this too, just to make you aware. And I'm also going to take a look. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to do a quick walkthrough on the syllabus. And then we'll do some other explaining on foundations of accounting. And let's go with share. And there we go. All right. Can you all see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Does it sound okay? Anybody having trouble hearing me?
No, you're fine.
Sounds good. Yeah. Appreciate the feedback.
Loud and clear.
Audio clear. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to start with a mission statement. And all organizations usually have a mission, vision, values statement that goes together. And if we were live in class, I'd spend a little more time on this. But I'm going to encourage you to review that at your leisure. And we're FMU, School of Business. We're here to serve. And quality is what it's about. Apply analytical thinking, communicate business knowledge orally and in written form. I'm going to keep emphasizing communications. Communications in this class. Communications in numbers, communications for accounting. I call accounting a language. As a matter of fact, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I have, yep, I can read and write Hebrew. I know a little bit of French. My English isn't so bad, but I also include accounting as a language on my LinkedIn profile. And accounting is a language of business, and that's hopefully why you're here, to learn that language. Evaluate business situations, ethical decision-making. Never too early to talk about ethics, because once you burn a bridge, it's hard to rebuild it. So you want to be ethical, honorable, and honest in all dealings. I will emphasize that. And then appreciate the values of various forms of diversity in the business environment. There's the AICPA, American Institute of CPAs. They have their values and vision statement. Integrity, passion, innovation, collaboration. So that gives you an idea of where we're headed. All of you know we're going to be online for the first 3 weeks. And then face-to-face is, I'm still saying it's probably 50-50, because face-to-face is what we intend to do right after Labor Day. That Wednesday after Labor Day, actually Tuesday officially, is going to face-to-face classes. We'll end up splitting the class. Half will come on Monday physically, half will come on Wednesday. And so they want a contact at least once a week. But this is to be a hybrid class. And when I say hybrid, how many have an idea what hybrid means? Any takers? Any thoughts? It means a lot more is on you. A lot more, if we only meet 1 day a week in class, you're going to say, well, how much lecture can I get? And by the way, I have all chapters, lectures, all online in Blackboard. So if you want to review a lecture on inventory or fixed assets or just the accounting cycle, there's a whole bunch of videos already there, ready for you to preview, ready to look at, ready to access. And we'll go on to Blackboard in a few minutes to see some of those things. But I want to walk you through that. There are 2 sections. By the way, if you're going to miss a 10:30 class and want to come to 11:30, you're welcome. If you're going to miss the 11:30 class for some reason and you want to come to 10:30, you're also welcome. I request that you try to stay consistent with the class you're in. We'll have some groups, we'll have some activities, you'll get to know your fellow students. But if there's an occasional change of heart or a change of need or appointment, you're welcome. They're fairly interchangeable. Okay. I'm here. I answer to Dr. Scott usually. Just don't call me hey you or other profanities. But call me what you're comfortable with. But Dr. Scott is probably as popular as it goes. I have a LinkedIn address, a Zoom address. You're in it. You found it. And as far as office hours, most of my office hours will be Zoom, but I also have a link to Calendly. And has anybody used Calendly before? It's a pretty cool tool. You click on it, you can schedule Zoom sessions, 15, 30, or 60-minute sessions. You can schedule telephone calls. I prefer Zoom sessions because then we can do some video interaction. I can show you some things. I can do a whiteboard and go through and draw things if need be. I also have a phone number. I say 24/7. That means, yes, you can call me at 2 in the morning. Chances are the phone's in another room on a charger, but sometimes I've answered the phone at 2 for students, and they've been saying, I wish I got your voicemail, but if I'm available, I'll answer. If I'm not, feel free to text or leave us a voice message. I'll let you read through most of this stuff on your own because you'll be able to see what's going on and get a feel. But a couple of things I want to point out to you. And I'm going to have, let's do a round table. I'm going to go ahead and ask on the goals of this course. I'm going to do course objectives. We're going to start off, and if you don't mind, can somebody go ahead and read number 1 for me? And if not, I'll start calling out names, but I'd rather have volunteers take initiatives.
I do number 1. Okay.
Number 1, course objectives.
To introduce students to the language of business accounting.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mercedes. So the language of business, I mentioned that before. Accounting is a lot of terminology. If you can understand the terms, you can understand business. So we're going to be covering a lot of terms from receivables and payables to GAAP and cash basis and accrual basis. We're going to be talking about some of those things that you need to know when you take a finance course, when you're in a management role, when you're in an operational role, and when you read a financial statement or understand your own personal budget. So those are the terminology we'll get to. Number 2, can someone go ahead and take a read through of that?
To understand the concepts and application of those concepts associated with generally accepted accounting principles and basic accounting systems.
Richard, thank you. So we're talking GAAP. What is GAAP? Well, GAAP is not the gap in knowledge of accounting to what you know and don't know. It's called United States or US GAAP. It's the rules and regulations that we follow, which is why when we buy a building, we can't expense it in year 1 and say, well, I have 100,000 revenue, I bought a building for 50,000, my net profit's 50 grand. That's not going to work because that building's going to last more than a year. So GAAP tells you how you have to depreciate, how you have to record things, how you have to track things. Number 3, read 3, please. This is the participation part. Class participation is part of the grade. Don't worry.
I'll get it.
I got it.
Cool. Go for it.
Provide the student with a basic understanding of the accounting theory, supporting various accounting principles of that theory.
Okay. Thank you, Stan. So we have basic understanding of accounting theory. So there's a lot of theory that goes into it. There's something called conservatism, which I'll share with you. It's not that all accountants are right-wing conservatives, Trump-thumping kind of political folks. It means they are fiscally conservative. It means we don't want to exaggerate revenues and sales. We don't want to exaggerate profits. We want to be careful on when we make promises. So we have a fiscal conservatism concept, and that we don't want to exaggerate. And that's what conservatism boils down to, and there'll be a bunch of other theories and applications we'll talk about. Number 4, take it away. Who's up?
To familiarize the student with the 4 basic financial statements: income statement, IS, balance sheet, BS, statement of cash flows, CF, and statement of retained earnings, RE, and the annual report, including the use of and analysis of those statements.
Thank you, James. Great. So we're going to be emphasizing the 4 basic financial statements. The abbreviations are there. I'll use a BS, no pun intended, CF, RE, and IS. And those are the 4 statements you will become familiar with. And by next week, you'll have seen all 4 in action and get a feel for how they relate. Number 5. Who wants to take it away?
I got it. To examine the effects of a business's activities of financing, investing, and operating activities on a firm's comprehensive income, financial position, and cash flows.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm going to use an acronym here, and it's one that it's called OIF, Operating, Investing, and Financing. That OIF is kind of important. If you look at the order, it flows. We get financing, where we actually generate some funds to start a business. Then we invest. We take those monies and we invest in materials, equipment, facilities, and then we buy and sell stuff, the operations of what we do. So financing, investing, and operations are the 3 principal activities we're going to focus on, and we'll be looking at financial statements and how they relate and how they flow. We do have 3 more to go. Who's up next? If you want me to start calling, I will, but I'd rather have volunteers.
I'll do that one.
Thank you.
Introduce the application of ethical principles to financial situations.
Okay. So ethics, thank you, Todd, appreciate. So the introduction of ethical principles, all right? I have an ex-wife and I won't trust her as far as I can throw her. That's 25 years ago. I'm happily remarried. We're on track, but things happen. It's real hard to build back trust once trust is broken. So please be aware that if you're in a situation, if you're being asked to do things that you don't feel comfortable with doing, you need to kind of respond, and you might have to leave a job because that may reflect on you. There's a gentleman, Weston Smith, who is a friend. He was the same track I was. I started in the big 8 CPA firms, which is now known as the big 4. He was on the same track. We graduated about the same year. He ended up going into industry. He worked for a large public accounting firm, went to a private company, became a chief financial officer. He ended up doing jail time. He was lying in bed. He lost his family, wife, kids, because the CEO put pressure on him to basically lie, to deceive. It started off with a little adjustment to the books, and then next quarter it got bigger. He was in a high-flying company, and the expectations of the investment market were that they were successful, and the stock price kept going up and up and up until the plug got pulled, and this was about Sarbanes-Oxley. We'll learn about that. And he was wondering how he got there. He wrote a book, sharp guy, and he's going around the country talking about ethics in business and being true to yourself and being honorable and honest, because that will follow you your whole career. Comment, did I hear? I think, Todd, did you say something, or you're okay? Okay. So number 7. Who's got 7?
To familiarize the student with the global economy.
Global economy, thank you very much. We are in a global economy. Your cell phone, I have one of those, called an Honor, but it's a Huawei phone. You probably heard of Huawei, which has all kinds of Chinese implications. This cell phone is made up not just of Chinese materials, Japanese materials, Korean materials, American materials. Most cell phones come from multiple countries. We are a global economy, and we're dependent on each other, whether it's shipping grain or high-tech equipment or missiles. There's a global flow of things going throughout. And no matter how we try to isolate, we're still going to be part of the global environment. So be aware of the global economy. And number 8.
For the first couple of weeks, and then I'll simply spot check what we have.
I couldn't hear. Say again, number 8?
I'll do it.
Go for it.
All right. To demonstrate oral and written communication skills to be able to appropriately communicate accounting information to business users.
Okay, Evan, thank you so much. Communication. Communication is key. Communication, you're going to be writing an email. You're going to be sending a text. You're going to be interacting with potential employers. You're going to be interacting with staff. You're going to be interacting with fellow students and with faculty. If your English language is not cohesive, not coherent, doesn't make sense, it's a reflection of you. I'm the guy that when I've looked at thousands of resumes, LinkedIn profiles, interviewed thousands as well. I've had a number of businesses. When I look and talk to somebody, I jump to the LinkedIn profile. Let's send me a resume. I'm still going to jump to a LinkedIn profile. And if they've got spelling errors and typos, if they have grammar errors and aren't communicating effectively, they don't have an attention to detail, I feel that's going to be a reflection when they get on the job. And they won't have that same reflection of attention to detail of what's going on. So my fear is I want to get the best candidates that are going to work and succeed, and they have to be able to communicate. You're going to write thank you notes after your interviews. By the way, only 5 to 10% of people do that, so you want to differentiate yourself. That's one hint. Every time, write a thank you note to everyone you come into contact with. It's okay to be an email or handwritten. You've probably heard that, but that's something that's the communication as it goes. Okay. So these are the core 8 objectives of where we're headed in this class. Upon completion, we got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to go through and share with you other expectations and things that you want to be aware of. Again, I'm going to ask for videos. I want to see your smiling faces. The textbook material, you will get an access code from McGraw-Hill. As soon as you go into Blackboard, as soon as you go into the first exercise, you will be prompted to join McGraw-Hill Connect. If you don't have a credit card, that's okay. We'll get 2 weeks of free access. And we hit the ground running. We have assignments due Wednesday, we have assignments due Friday, we have assignments due Monday. You're going to need to want to keep up. And I do accept late homework, but you lose points every day. So you really don't want to be late. As a matter of fact, you want to come to class as prepared as you can. You want to make sure you're in the right section. There are 2 sections, as I mentioned, there's 2 classes. You're the 01, the 1030 section. There's an 04, which is the 1130 section. Okay, so the red gives you an idea of where to go, assignment. The blue is for emergency use. You can go directly to McGraw-Hill Connect for the class. I discourage you from using that unless for some reason Blackboard is not working for you. As I say, it's 95. By Wednesday, and officially by Friday, but by Wednesday, take a look at the following 10 steps. One is go to number 1 up top and go to Blackboard, get into Connect, get logged in, and you will have 2 weeks of free use. But then I have a 2 through 12. And I mentioned that this course is a language of business. It's a foundation course. I'm not going to make you all accountants. I guarantee you, you will be interacting with accountants. Some of you are accounting majors, great. Some are finance majors. Some are management, operations, marketing, supply chain. Some might not even be business majors, just want to give flavor of accounting, and that's fine. You're in the right place. But you will have to talk to accountants, interact with accountants. You're a manager and a subordinate comes to you and say, I have this $1 million idea, and it's going to take a $10,000 investment, and it's legal. That's a good sign. So what are you going to say? You're going to say, great idea, or are you going to review it? Are you going to think about it? Are you going to process it? Are you going to come through and say, yeah, okay, let's take a look at the numbers here. Let's make this, is this real? So you are going to make business decisions. Or you might have that idea and go to your boss and say, I've got the same proposition. I got this $10,000 investment, and we're going to have $1 million return. Again, you need to communicate in financial terms, even if you're not an accountant. So we've got a few tools here for you. There is a free financial calculator, a 10BA Pro, available to you. You can put it on your phone. You can access it online. Beginner's Guide to Financial Statements. Ratio cheat sheet. There's also two grammar checkers, a grammar checker and a grammar 35 mistakes to avoid. Those are 2 things you probably want to review. Again, good communication, good English. And then I'm going to have you subscribe. You're going to subscribe to a newsletter from CNBC. That's the business NBC channel. You're going to sign up for something called Squawk. You're going to get a daily email. And you say, well, why should I do this? Well, first of all, you're a business professional. I intend to treat you like one. I hope you will treat me as one as well. But as a professional, you want to keep current. You want to keep up to date on business. You want to get ideas. Maybe you're pretty sure of what you want to do for an internship or a job. Or maybe you're not so sure. And as you read business publications and keep abreast of business interests, you'll find out more of ideas of what you want to do. Or you go on an interview and you get asked a general business question. You want to be current. You want to be aware. You want to be on top of the business game so that folks know that you're following business because you're a business student. You go home on vacation, or you are home now, and someone says, oh, you're majoring in business. You're a business guru. I got a question on stocks. I got a question on what's the impact of Amazon doing whatever. What's the impact of an investment firm or of the economy reacting to a embargo or a boycott or something else? Those are things that you be aware of. Yeah, you're learning some of that in class, but a lot of this will come through in other news stories. So the CNBC newsletter, the Investopedia newsletter, there's an accounting headlines blog, and then there's a YouTube video to watch, 5 types of accountants. If we have time, we'll do that here. Sign up for a newsletter. The debt clock is pretty powerful if you've never seen it. A quiz on the tax system. And then there's a cool Business Made Simple daily 2 to 3 minute video, maybe 4 minutes sometimes, about tips on being in business and tips on managing, tips on marketing, tips on succeeding. It's called Business Made Simple, and these are all free resources. I'm not going to try to nickel and dime you to try to make you buy things, but these are cool tools that you as a business professional should be aware of, should be abreast of. And by the end of this week, I'm going to ask you to request some annual reports. Now, these are going to be hard copy annual reports that will get mailed to you. You'll have them in your hands. We'll be talking about them in class. I want you to be able to see an annual report, touch it, feel it, smell it, and experience it. And that'll help you with your final project, which is going to be some analyzing of businesses of where we go. Then there's some optional stuff here that's available to you, some Excel resources, some other videos, career assistance. We'll talk more about that. And then the accounting, FASB accounting codification. This codification is for GAAP. We really don't need it for this class. I use it more in my intermediate class, which is the next level class of financial. But the codification is pretty important, and it gives you some access. And if you're a major, you might want to log into this and access it as well. Okay. So that's the initial area of where we're at. And so I'm going to open the floor to comments or questions. Any thoughts? Anybody feeling overwhelmed yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot here. This is the first day. We've been at it for less than half an hour, and now you've got a semester's worth of stuff you need to do, and we'll get there. So I can understand you seeing a lot of things here, but it will sink in. Let's go around the room, and everybody take a minute just to introduce yourself and introduce the reason you're in business. Okay, I don't need, if you want to say major, great. If you want to say background, great. Keep it quick. And why did you major in business? Go for it.
I guess I'll start. My
Okay.
name is Matt Lee, sophomore economics major, and I think business will help me in life and be successful.
Excellent, Matt. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I think you will be successful. And good initiative, by the way. Thank you for being top of the heap on first round. Next victim,
I'll go.
please.
I'm Todd Bailey, and really the main reason I'm in this class is because I dropped my last 2 accounting courses, and I'm a music industry major on the business track, and I don't need the course, but I thought it would be a good idea to take it and get some more insight on the subject in general.
Okay. And you don't have to answer this, but may I ask why you dropped the last 2?
Oh, my professors are horrible. So legit, I think the class average from my last class was like a 9, like single digit, like a 9. And then the one before that, everybody was failing. So they weren't really good environments because they just kind of put the equation on the board and they're like, yeah, do this. That was pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I don't know about other classes, but we'll see what we can do to make this class pan out for you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Me too. One more. Well, actually, everybody gets a chance. So you'll have your chance. Keep going.
I've got to
All
go.
right. Oh, okay. You got it.
Name's Richard Russell, and I'm in this class because it's part of my major for information management.
Okay. Excellent. Are you looking forward to the class?
Yeah, looking forward to go ahead and pass it for this semester.
Amen. Me too. Next.
I'll go. I am Will Hardy, and I'm in this class because I want to be a pharmaceutical rep down the road, and I think it'll help me out in that field.
Definitely. By the way, I will share one interview question. Marketing program director at my last school. By the way, this is my second year here. I was an accounting program director for 13 years in Wisconsin, another school. A marketing program director for my last school. He would ask the question. Okay, you say, you're interviewing for a marketing position, and what question did you ask? If I had a $60 cost on an item and I needed a 20% markup, how much would I be selling this for? How many feel they can answer that fairly quickly? Okay, 20% markup on $60. What's 20% of 60? What's 2 times 6? That'd be $12. So 20% markup would be 60 plus 12 would be 72. Okay, that's the answer he was looking for. He was amazed at how many marketing types couldn't answer that question. Okay, but that's an accounting question, right? No, it's a business question. And that's the kind of question you should be comfortable, and don't be, it's got a number, stay away. That's not the intent. But by the way, I have a good friend at Merck Sharp and Dome. He's a pharmaceutical rep from Merck in Philadelphia. He's out in the West Coast. He's in Washington State. And you're right. You do need to have a business knowledge because you're going to be talking to medical practitioners, doctors who are running small businesses or medium-sized businesses or working in large environments. So you're going to be able to talk business with them. So, Will, you're in the right place. Let's keep going.
I'll go next. I'm Danny.
Alright.
Yeah, it was good, Stan. But yeah, I want to learn a little bit about business. I actually want to own an indoor soccer center in the future. So that's what I've kind of wanted to do for a while now. So just want to get most information out of this class because I know it'll be useful. I would say this is a class I want to take, so yeah.
Cool, Danny. Thank you. And you're right. To run a business, you have to know accounting, operations, management, legal, facilities, all kinds of holistic approach. And accounting is going to be a good core because if you can't track the money, you're going to close the doors.
Right.
Let's keep going. Thank you. Make it happen. Everyone gets a chance.
I'll go next.
Thank you.
All right, my name is Joshua Walker, and I'm majoring in business economics, and I'm taking this class because one day I want to run my own business, and I feel like it's going to help me.
Cool. Thank you, Josh. Yep, running your own business. That was my goal in high school way back when, and I'm sensitive to that. Let's keep going. Come on.
I'll go.
Thank you.
I'm Austin Moore. I'm doing business because I'm trying to work at Duke Energy to become kind of like a top line manager.
Excellent. Actually, I'm getting solar installed in my house, and Duke is my power company, and we're working with them right now. I just had somebody come out last week. I was at Duke in the fall of last year. We took 11 students to an IMA conference, Institute of Management Accountants. And one of the fascinating things I'll share, if you're looking for internships, if you don't apply at Duke by mid-September, you're not in the running. They open it in August, they close in September. And that's the window for getting an internship for the following summer. So, and large companies, a lot of them do that. Some have an October closure. They're saying, well, I'm going to start looking for my internship in March, maybe April, I'll get something for the summer. And small businesses, you might get away with that. But the larger companies are going to start early, and you want to plan accordingly. Duke is a great place, by the way. We had 4 of their business managers speak to, and some of our students saw them, and they'd be good to talk to as well. It was a good experience. There's an IMA conference coming up on a Friday in November. I would urge and encourage you to participate in a one-day. Anytime you get an opportunity to participate in conferences and meet people, hear what they have to say. I was surprised at some of the things I heard from Duke when I was there, and I thought I had a pretty good handle on internships and jobs. So thank you for sharing, Austin. Keep going.
I'll go next.
Thank you.
The reason I'm taking accounting is because I also want to run a business one day.
Okay. By the way, do you go by Don or Donald?
Donald.
Donald. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So running a business, and what your major is?
General business.
General business. Cool. Excellent. Thank you, Donald. Next.
I'll go. Let's see. James Gaskin, accounting major, and I want to learn more about the whole wide world of business and accounting.
Okay, accounting major, good place, good people, good field. Thank you, James.
I can go next.
Cool.
My name is Alexandria. I plan on double majoring. I know for sure I'm majoring in finance. Not sure about the second one. I was thinking accounting, so I figured, this was a great way to figure that out. I'm officially a freshman, but I have 49 credits, so
cool.
I'm kind of up there, but hopefully, I'll get into the program. So
On the right track. Welcome. And I won't try to talk you out of accounting, although I will say IT, data analytics is great as well. I've had a number of math and accounting majors, and we have an accounting club, which actually became the accounting and finance club, but it's not just for accounting and finance majors. I'll talk more about that down the road. It's for any business student that wants to enhance their business skills. Our second meeting, we had 6 panelists from the community. The cool part was 5 of them were recruited by students. I recruited somebody, I had a neighbor from Otis Elevator, and that was nice. And they had a really good person. But the other 5 people, students, I had students walking away with internships or walking away with interviews in a week and had an internship in 2 weeks after these meetings. So get involved. That's the bottom line. Become active. How many have been to an accounting club or accounting AFC meeting? Anybody been participating in the past? I would urge you to do some online, some Zoom sessions, get those going. Okay, let's keep going. Next. Don't be shy.
Okay, I'll go.
I guess I'll take one for
Thank you, Abigail.
Oh, no, go ahead.
It's Abby, and I was an early childhood education major, and I'm trying to come out of that, and I'm kind of just taking classes, honestly, trying to like figure out if I want more business or like more accounting, finance stuff.
Okay.
Right now it's more like accounting.
Okay, well, welcome to the dark side, Abby. Glad to have you. And we'll see what we can do if you have any questions or anything. Anybody has any questions about other careers, other majors, resources are here to help, and I'm here to help as well. So thank you. Let's keep going. Next.
I guess I'll go.
Good guess.
Okay. So I'm Kevin. I'm a music industry major on the business track, and I'm taking this class, well, not only because I have to, but I realize that accounting is very important to learn, so might as well learn it.
Good. Might as well. Glad to have you. I think you and Todd, I'm sure you know each other. I suspect you know each other.
Oh, yeah.
How many other music majors do we have here? Anybody else? Okay. Yep. Music is powerful. Music is a business. But so is religion. That's another story. Anyways, next, please.
I'll go ahead.
Thank you.
I'm Briar. I'm a business major and planning on getting into sales. So.
Yeah, in sales, you need to understand business because you're going to be selling to business people. You need to talk their language. And by the way, I'm glad you brought up sales. We're all in sales. I'm in sales. I sell ideas every day. You're in an interview. You're in sales. You're going to be selling yourself and making folks aware of your skills, talents, and why they should hire you. And yes, I sold cars, and I sold vacuum cleaners door to door, and I've sold a bunch of things in my career, but I continue to sell every day. I'm selling you on the value of this accounting class, and hopefully I'll sell you on the opportunity to do well. So I look forward to your participation. Thank you. Do you go by Ed or Edward?
Briar.
Werner?
Briar.
Briar.
Yes, sir.
Briar. Okay, that's Briar Patch. Got it. Thank you, Briar.
Yes.
I'll go.
Please.
I'm Finn. I was originally a psych major, and I'm finishing out that major this spring, and I just started my marketing major. So
Cool. Okay, marketing club here is very good too, by the way. Brian is talented. And as we say, marketing, business, it all comes together. Thank you, Finn. Couple more to go. Come on.
I'll go ahead.
Thank you.
My name is Evan Jackson, marketing major, and I'm taking this class because it's part of marketing, and I believe it'll help me.
Okay. Part of the requirements, and I'm glad it is a requirement because, as I say, you need the foundation. Marketing, accounting, finance, operations, management, all part of the game. Thank you, Evan.
I'll go. My name's Cole Norris. I'm a finance major, and this class will obviously help me with finance in the future.
Great. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make you memorize some ratios that will help you in finance, but very logical memorizations. You say return on assets. Okay, returns over assets. Return on equity, we'll talk more about those terms. Net income or profit. Earnings per share, earnings over shares, we'll talk more about those kind of things. Finance and accounting. By the way, they're very easy to double major because there's only a few courses that needed to be added either way, and now you can be a double major or maybe even a triple major. Anybody here thinking of a CPA track, considering accounting and as a CPA potentially, or maybe even CMA, certified management accountant or certified public accountant? All right, so we've got one taker. Thank you, James. And it is a rewarding track and a rewarding career and a rewarding opportunity. I got a couple more to go, and let's make it happen. What do we got?
I'll go next.
Thank you, Grace.
So I'm Grace. I'm actually a biology major and a business minor. So this was part of the business minor. So that's why I'm taking the class.
Cool. I had an executive in Madison, Wisconsin, who was an alumnus of my previous school, who was a biology major. And I reached out to alums, and I was getting alums coming back to school, to campus, to talk to our students. And he said, you know, the one thing I wish I had more of as a biology major was accounting. I said, tell me more. He said, well, because I'm in business, I'm a manager, and understanding the accounting would help me. I mean, I understand a bunch of it now, and I've taken some more courses, and I'm more familiar. But if I had had that undergrad, I would have been ahead of the game, and it would have carried me that much further. So biology majors are welcome. Who hasn't spoken up yet? I think
I'll go next.
Thank you.
All right. My name's Owen. I'm a sophomore, and I'm in marketing, and I'm taking this class because I kind of have to for marketing. So
Okay.
more experience in.
Well, I'm glad you have to. Glad you're here. Thank you, Owen. And who else is missing?
All right, I'll go.
Okay.
I'm Hunter McGee, and I am a transfer student, and I am a sports management major.
Excellent. Any idea what you want to do long term?
Athletic director in high school, hopefully.
Okay. So you'll have a budget to maintain and students to hopefully follow in. Good. My last school had a sport truck management program that was very successful. And it was an attorney that was the program director. And he got people going to conferences in Chicago and get involved professionally. And one of the assignments in this class is to join a professional organization. There'll be a LinkedIn assignment. You'll see the syllabus. We'll talk a little bit more next, maybe by the end of this class, and get a foundation for you. But I'm going to go ahead and ask for, I think we have two more to go.
My name's Graham, and I'm a marketing major too. And I'm here pretty much because it's required, yeah.
Okay. And we'll make the best of it. Even requirements are good sometimes. You're required to eat, and you can enjoy that some days. So chocolate's always good. Okay. Still to go.
Everyone go? No, go last.
Okay. Gabby, did we hear from you?
I can't.
Come on.
Where's the chat, bro?
Can't hear you.
I can't. I don't.
Okay. Hopefully we get the mic up and running by next class. A little blurry too. I don't know if it's a connection. So any burning questions you have about this class in general?
Do we have an assignment this week?
We have assignments for Wednesday. We have assignments for Friday. When you go into Blackboard, and actually let's do that right now. I'm going to get a couple things I want to show you also. So I'm going to go share screen again. I'm going to share. I'm going to go into my Calendly. Let's go into Blackboard. Okay, so if I go to hopefully you can see my screen.
Yeah, my Blackboard is not loading for some reason.
I'm guessing mine isn't either. By the way, Blackboard likes Firefox. It does not so much like Chrome. So be warned. I bet everybody's going into Blackboard today. And by the way, if you have trouble getting to Blackboard, there is the direct link to get into the McGraw-Hill Connect that's in the syllabus that I emailed to you. And so I'm not getting into Blackboard either. So what I'm going to go do is go into Connect. Oops, so I'm going to go into a different Connect because that's a different reviewer. I was reviewing something else. Okay, let's sign in here. All right. Computers, gotta love them, gotta hate them. Okay, so I'm going to sign in here. By the way, there's a discussion board assignment that's due next week or by Friday, and then you have to post. But I'm going to go into our financial accounting 1030 class and give you an idea what the assignments look like. And I'm going to go into student view here. So if you look through here, you have access to the book. You have access to the assignments. If I go into chapter 1, orientation, smart book, orientation overviews. And there's due dates on here. August 19, August 21, August 24, August 26. So the due dates here are what the assignments are. There'll be a series of videos. And when you look at those, you're going to say, I got a lot of work to do, don't I? And you are right. You get out what you put in, just like life, and these assignments will take you in. And there are a series of videos, series of questions, series of other tools. If you want to read the book itself, you can go directly over to the book, and you can scroll through. The way I would read the book is I would start, okay, this is, let me go back here, table of contents, chapter 1, accounting and business, chapter preview. This is the orientation. I'm going to urge you to read the learning objectives first. When you read the learning objectives, you say, oh, that's what's going to be talked about. When I was in the Navy, I heard, here's my training technique. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So if you're going to read chapter 1, you're going to say, okay, what am I going to learn? Importance of accounting, users, who uses this stuff? Internal users, external users. Ethics, we keep getting that ethics word. GAAP, you already know what GAAP is, generally accepted accounting principles, basically. 3 major activities of organizations. OIF, operating, investing, financing, we talked about those. Define and interpret the accounting equation and its components. Compute and interpret return on assets, ROA. Return versus risk, have a conversation. Analyze business transactions, identify, prepare basic financial statements. There's a live example, and then that goes through. So that gives you an idea. This is the actual textbook that you will have access to when you go in and sign in. I'm going to go to the end of the chapter, okay? And we're going to go into, there's a comprehensive problem. The book has a really good format and going through solutions and explaining things. And reading that comprehensive problem will give you more insights into what it's about and what's going on. So we talked about the 4 financial statements. We got an income statement. What's on an income statement? Revenues, money's coming in, expenses, things you're spending money on, and you got net profit. Everybody see that? Net income flows into what's called a statement of retained earnings. You got beginning retained earnings starting at 0 with a startup. You add your net income. You deduct dividends, you get ending retained earnings, which shows up on a balance sheet. You'll see retained earnings on the balance sheet, part of equity. And again, I'm going pretty fast. You'll read more. And then a statement of cash flows, cash flow from operations, cash flow from investing, cash flow from financing. 3 categories show up in a cash flow statement. The last thing I want to share with you, I want to go through and take a look at the accounting equation. the fundamentals of accounting. And I'm going to go through and do a little whiteboard action here. And we're going to go through and take a look at a formula. It's accounting. We can do formulas. Anybody know what A stands for? Accounting would be a good guess, but we have assets.
Assets.
Equals liabilities plus equity. Okay. So if we're looking at that, I'm going to go ahead and see, and bear with me a second. I'm going to X that out. And all right, so the accounting equation, we have things we own. I'm going to change the color here if I can. Let's do our drawing wheel. Hang on, bear with me. Draw there, there, and let's see if we can't get, okay. So assets are things we own. Liabilities are things we owe. And the remainder is what's left, ownership interest. So let's take a look at some more, let's do some numbers here, because I want to make sure that you get comfortable with this formula. If I start a business and I take $100,000, and let's go with, oops, clear that out. And I'm going to go with a little bit narrower. All right, so I'm going to have $10,000 that I invest in the business, and I get $10,000 in cash. We now have a business with zero liabilities. We don't own anything. We have $10,000 in cash and assets and $10,000 in equity. That's our ownership interest. We haven't sold anything. We haven't bought anything, but we've got a business and we're in balance here. I'm going to go buy some inventory. So I got cash here. And I've got investment. I'm going to buy $5,000 in inventory. And I'm going to actually clear this screen because this is getting messy. So I've got assets plus equity. I'm going to take a look here. We start with $10,000 in assets, $10,000 in equity. I buy $5,000 in inventory. What's my cash going to go to? Well, $5,000. Life is good. I have $5,000 in cash, $5,000 in inventory. I still have $10,000 invested. I haven't made any money, haven't lost any money yet. I buy some more things. I go buy let's say we're doing a lawn service. I go buy a tractor. I get a $20,000 tractor. I incur a $20,000 loan or liability. Okay, so I have a note or loan payable. So I've got $5,000 in cash, $5,000 inventory, $20,000 in tractor or lawnmower. I take away from my $30,000 here, $20,000 in loans. My business is still worth $10,000. In theory, someone will buy this business for $10,000. They're going to incur $30,000 worth of assets, $20,000 worth of debt, and they have $10,000 left over. That's the big picture. We're going to get more into it on Wednesday. Any parting questions as we clear out? As I say, if you have any problems, you've got my phone number, you've got my email address. Hopefully Blackboard will be back online shortly. Let me just see if I have Blackboard. I'll just go back to and log in. Nope. Okay, yeah, Blackboard looks like it's down right now, but you can log in from the syllabus. I emailed to you last night. Did everybody get it? Anybody not get the syllabus last night? Was anybody not enrolled for some reason and didn't see it? So you all have a copy of the syllabus. You can all get into Blackboard. You can all register. You can all access it, even if you can't do Blackboard itself. And you have access to all the other data, the information, the sign-ins, the newsletters, the other things that are going to be there. This is a holistic class. We're going to go, this is an accounting class. You're going to walk away knowing accounting, but you're also going to develop some more skills and resources that'll hopefully springboard you onto your career in business or whatever choice you make and where to go. I thank you for your time. I look forward to your future participation, and the door is open. Last comments, questions?
Thank you.
Lucy's.
All right. Thank you so much. Be well. Stay safe. We'll see you soon. I feel that way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to go. Hey there.
Hi.
Welcome.